never forget. All matter of conservative grievances are just something that I made up in my mind and it scared me. I had a scary thought and now it's your problem. I'm saying it. Oh, let's hear what Jordan Peterson's Pride Month grievances are.
Having this interview in Pride Month, and so what are my thoughts about Pride Month? Well, the first thing I would say is that you should be very careful what you name things. And
bro, you can't be wearing this ass shirt and be like, "Oh, the gays in Pride Month." It's like, bro, you need a little bit of homosexuality in your life, big dog. Okay, at least like put on a different suit if we're gonna be talking shit about the queers. Okay. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. What is happening here? What the f? That's gallery department.
And pride is not a virtue. And I've brought that up with people before, and their objection always is, well, they don't really mean pride. People are just trying to affirm their own identities. And, you know, fair enough, I suppose, to some degree, but that was the name that was chosen, and that's the name that stuck. And pride is a cardinal sin, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is that pride means something like stubborn refusal to change when evidence of error is accruing, and it's not a good thing. There's a real tinge of narcissism, sexual narcissism, about the whole pride spectacle. And, you know, do people have the right to express their sexuality the way they see fit? To some degree, if it's consensual.
He's like, yeah, only in the degrees that I agree, not if it's gay stuff.
And among adults, but generally among human beings with any degree of civilized comportment whatsoever, it's a pretty damn private affair. We tend to be private in our sexual conduct as a species, and so this isn't exactly private. And it's also the case that identities based on something as narrow as
keep it in your bedrooms,
sexual desire, let's say, aren't identities at all. They're pronouncements of subjection to instinctual whim. And I also have a real problem with the idea of the LGBT plus, etc. community, because it's not a community. And it's especially not a community right now because the trans pushing, gender affirming butchers and liars primarily target young people whose most likely outcome on the sexual front is homosexuality. So the trans gender affirming butchers and liars are differentially destroying the youthful gay community. And that's not a community by any stretch of the imagination. And there's a famous conservative thinker, Chesterton, and Chesterton has a concept, the fence, and Chesterton's fence is based on the observation that if you're walking somewhere you don't understand and you come across a fence, you should probably not tear it down because you don't know what it keeps in or out. And the pride movement has torn down a lot of fences, and maybe some of those fences needed to go, but all of them didn't need to go. And there's plenty of monsters coming out to play now. And I would say that's especially true on the transgender affirming side. And that's why we're seeing this butchery in the medical community, abetted by idiot allies and driven by greed. And those aren't the worst monsters that exist. And so if you tear down enough fences, you're going to find out what they're for.
I really do wish you would just cut to the chase. You know what I mean? I wish you would just be like, trans people are groomers or something. Like, I never thought that I would say these words, but it's like, bro, just say it. Like, just, you don't have to take the long way home, you know? Just be like, trans people are weird and they're groomers or something like that. Like, just cut it down. What is this word salad? Well, analytically speaking, the trans affirming care are actually done in a complex scenario of butcheries. It's just like, yeah, dude, just say it's a slippery, yeah, exactly. It's a slippery slope. And also that they're turning the kids gay. That's it. See, I did it. I did it in 3 seconds. That's the point he's trying to make. He's the centrist intellectual. He's not, though. Not anymore.
Now, I read recently, like this week, that support for gay marriage is plummeting. Right.
Where did you read that? That is not a real thing. What the fuck's he talking about? What is he saying? Where is it plummeting, bro? What? Israel. Let's see. Support gay marriage plummeting. Oh, this is it dipped in 2023. Okay. It dipped to 71%. Bro, dude, it's over. Gay rights are over, dog. Wow. Guys, it's done. It's done. It's Jover. Like, not to be, I mean, it wouldn't even matter if it actually did plummet, for the record, like if it actually went down to like 50%, because ultimately that doesn't mean it's correct to be homophobic or transphobic, right? Like, there are plenty of positions that I assume that I advocate for that are not exactly super popular, right? I do it because it's right, not because it's popular. But having said that, on this issue, it is like historically high, man. Like, what are we talking about? What is going on? Share of young adults who supported same-sex marriage declined to 71% last year. Yeah, it went from 69% the year before to 67%. It's Jover. Why would support be the same when we have legalized it? No, it is. For the record, yeah, it went up dramatically post legalization, and it's just like stably been around 60 to 70%, which is as close to a which is as close to like damn near every single person as you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Remember, 20% of Americans, you can always find 20% of Americans that will say, I agree with any unimaginably insane thing. Okay, 20 to 30% of Americans will always, no matter what, believe in the most unhinged shit. That is a Hasanabi standard, as you guys know. 30% of Americans will always agree. It can be literally the dumbest thing on the planet. Anyway, 30% of Americans believe Jesus is coming back before 2059. No, it's much higher than that. I'm saying at least 30% of Americans will believe the dumbest thing. 20 to 30% of Americans.
It's like, well, keep pushing. Keep pushing. You're going to lose everything you've gained. And I'm not celebrating that at all. That's not the point.
Why not?
At all. But
oh, he's not. Yeah, it might seem like he's celebrating that, but he's not celebrating that at all, okay? It looks like he's celebrating that, but actually he's not. Please. I promise you he's not. He definitely hates that homophobia is on the rise, which, by the way, by his own metrics is not by a lot, for the record. It's just like people are, 3% less supportive.
Like, I'm just done with it. I don't like the flag. I think it's a piece of idiocy. I don't understand why it changed.
Okay, to be fair, I agree with the rainbow color shit. I do think personally the rainbow one is like, it's not aesthetically pleasing. It's not. It's all the colors. Pick a better grouping of colors. Okay? It's just ugly. It's so ugly. It's like you put it on merch, it's like, ugh. Like, at least trans pride has like a decent grouping of colors. Bisexual pride has like a decent grouping of colors. Wait, are you being serious? Oh, dude, you've never heard me say this? I've talked about this quite a bit. This is actually serious. I think that lesbian pride has a decent grouping of colors. I think that the rainbow is just like so ugly, if that makes sense. And it's not even like this isn't even this has nothing to do with like gay rights at all, by the way. It's just simply that when you put all the colors together, it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't look that good. Yeah, thinking the rainbow is tacky is the gayest thing you can say and therefore strengthens your allyship. Oh no, for sure. It's fully gay of me to be like, it's tacky, because it is. This one slaps. Isn't the point of the pride flag what? Supposed to represent every color under the rainbow? Yeah, no, it is. I'm just saying that like the color palette featuring every color is so tacky. I mean, there's not really much you can do about it. It is what it is. Who cares? But I have talked about this before.
Changes every bloody week. I don't know who makes those decisions. I don't like the acronym and all the mystery surrounding it. I don't like the fact that the LGBT agenda, whatever that is, increasingly dominates the school system. I don't like the fact that it's targeted at young people.
Remember, never forget, all matter of conservative grievances are just something that I made up in my mind and it scared me. I had a scary thought and now it's your problem. Like, he's not even hiding it. He just literally is like, I don't even know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but it scares me and now it's your problem. I'm going to make it your issue, okay? It's so stupid. When you think about it from that point of view, you're like, why are we even having an argument about this? Like, what? So you're saying you got scared? Okay, like a child? Like, cool. So he doesn't like the history surrounding it. Is it not wanting gay people to be killed for being gay? I mean, I think that is true. He probably wants to return to whatever he thinks is tradition, but which includes like, you know, lynching gay people and stuff. But I think he's just at this stage, he doesn't even know what's going on, but it's very fearful. It's like, oh, okay. I guess we got to deal with this now. I guess this is our thing now. Sorry. Old man imagined a scary future.
And I think the surgery, the gender affirming care movement, I think it is Nazi Auschwitz level awful, that it should not only stop.
Ironic, because that's, yeah, the Nazis also were very, very anti-trans and very anti-gay, just like Jordan Peterson is. And I'm imagining a past where the Nazis were like, this is just like Nazi behavior. We must stop the trans medical research. It's like Nazis. They're just like the Nazis.
Stop. And now, as they've decided to do in the UK and in most places in Europe, but I think all the people that were involved in the surgical transition of minors should be imprisoned. So there's a lot of house cleaning to do on the pride side of things. And I don't believe that a celebration of an identity that encapsulates something like 3% of the population before it became a fad.
Were they even transgenders back then? Chatter, you consistently have some of the funniest questions, which is why I haven't banned you. Yes. Okay. Yeah, of course there were transgenders back then, dude. What the it's not like an invention. Bro, you really think we invented trans people in like 2013 or something? Like, what do you think? That's so funny. Yeah. In the year 2013, trans people were invented and nothing has been the same. Yeah. Yeah. New gender expansion pack. God knows what will happen by 2025. Ay, ay, ay.
Is inclusive in any manner whatsoever. So I think pretty much all of it's a lie. And it's a dangerous lie. And it's a lie with real monsters hovering on the edges. And so, and like, enough, as far as I'm concerned, enough pride in the churches, enough pride in the bloody banks. I don't want to walk into the Bank of Nova Scotia and be celebrating pride. It's like I want to go and put my money in or take my money out without any political idiocy, and certainly without.
It's just like, okay, I do want to clarify that, like, just because I think the rainbow color scheme is tacky doesn't mean that I have an aneurysm when I see it. This guy's so stupid. He's like, we have to defend Western civilization and I will be the strongest warrior. Also, I had a heart attack when I saw a rainbow colored Nova Scotia Bank logo. These two things don't work side by side, man. You can't be defending Western civilization that's falling while simultaneously be like, I almost died. Oh, God, I love conservatives so much. They're so stupid. That level of drama is, by the way, the equivalent of sucking at least one dick gay, okay? I saw something that I didn't like and I almost died. Do you understand me? I died. Hello? He's so dramatic. I was murdered.
Without any celebration of sexuality. I don't know what the hell the banks think they're doing. And the churches, well, that's just for the churches to be flying pride flags. It's like pride is the cardinal Christian sin. Right. So what the hell? What's going on with the flags exactly? What exactly are you celebrating here? Tolerance. It's like, yeah, tolerance of vice is not a virtue, and pride is a vice.
There is no greater testament to like Western supremacist attitudes than thinking that what he's doing right here is any different than any number of like LARPing Salafist UK Muslim podcasts talking about fellas, women, pride. What the fuck is pride? Yeah. Wallahi, bro. It's just like he has the garb on. So you just analyze it fundamentally differently. You know, you just look at it very differently than like something that you would see on memory TV. You know, he's speaking English and he's wearing a ugly ass suit, but a suit nonetheless. And therefore, this is actually riveting discourse and totally different than like some weirdo fundy. He's white and Christian. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why people don't read it in the same way. If you dislike the pride flag, why do you hate only the people brave enough to change its design? True. In solidarity with the hostages held in Gaza by Hamas, Tel Aviv displays pride flags with a white and yellow stripe. This is so funny because like, so what is it? Are all the hostages gay? Like, is that a new sexuality? It's like LGBTQ and hostage. Like, why would you do this? Why did you think that this was... It's so stupid. Oh, God. Why yellow? Because yellow is the stand with us color, the color of the ribbons that they wear that is supposed to invoke the hostages. Anyway, we are so back. General election poll, Biden 46 2-point lead. Last poll was a tie. Let's go. It's over. It's great. I'm glad that there's a 2-point lead between Donald Trump and Joe Biden after a criminal, fresh off the heels of a criminal conviction. It's crazy. It should not be this close, okay, at any point. Oh, here's Joe Rogan with some riveting political commentary.
So many rappers are showing support for Trump now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because now he's got a felony.
Right.
Right. I mean, like, now they realize also he's getting trapped by the system, just like everybody's been rapping about. Being trapped by this system, this bullshit system. And you watch it happen with him.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just talking about this. It's like I don't think they were counting on the black voter being like, hey, they just fucked that guy. That's what they do to us.
Yeah. This is what they do to everybody. And
yeah, that's definitely... When I want to know about what black people think, I go to Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe. Two guys that are about the culture. I love the racist cartoon that is going on in their minds of like black men having a conversation amongst themselves being like, yeah, that's right. Donald Trump is a criminal just like we all are. Am I right? We're all falsely convicted felons. That's why we're voting for Donald Trump. It reads like the classic Redditor who LARPs as a black man, or like a chatter that comes in and is like, as a black myself, I think you're a piece of shit, Hasan. News. Trump is now a felon. Republicans, oh, just like black people. This is racist, but I have heard some of my friends say this dumb shit. We're all black, by the way. Yeah. Donald Trump getting caught paying hush money to a porn star is the same as, you know, black people being dominated by the police forces in the neighborhoods that they live in. It's just the same. If anything, it's unique that the criminal justice system ever prosecutes a rich person. I just don't think that the black vote is flipping dramatically in the way that people claim it is. I think there's a change in the trends for sure, but anyway, Miriam Adelson, the richest Israeli in the world, describing the genocide of Palestinians, disproportionately women, as a feminist endeavor. This winter, in her heightened distress, Adelson wrote another Israel Hayom editorial. This one, The Woman of Iron, was frantic and creative. The article argued that the Israel-Hamas war was not just a battle over Israel's right to exist. The war, Adelson wrote, was part of a feminist mission, a war against the very essence of violent patriarchy, against the armed and Islamist embodiment of the fear and hatred that certain insecure men have harbored since the time immemorial towards girls and women. Never mind that Israel had just been ranked last among the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development's 38 countries on its progress towards erasing gender-based discrimination. Israel has like numerous active parties in parliament that, you know, have political disagreements over things such as, should women be able to learn how to read? Israel has a huge gender pay gap, not to mention a far-right government anxious to increase the power of rabbinical courts, which do not recognize women as witnesses. I think one of the best, like, massagings of the narratives has been that in a deeply anti-Semitic culture that Christians had, the notion that, like, Christian supremacist values or America as a Christian nation has now turned into like America is a Judeo-Christian nation. Okay. And that in that we also here in the Western world, one, do not recognize Christian fundamentalism for what it is, just religious fundamentalism backed by dogma, incredibly violent, incredibly bigoted. And we also don't recognize Jewish fundamentalism in that same vein as well. It's only Islamic fundamentalism that represents the entirety of the religion, which is obviously not true, and that Islam is the only religion capable of having like barbaric fundamentalist thoughts that are broadly representative of the entirety of the believers of the religion. This is precisely the reason why people, even though they don't really have that same smoke for Saudi Arabia, will rarely ever talk about Israel in the same ways that they talk about Saudi Arabia in general or any other, you know, Muslim nation. Never mind. Okay, Israel. Adelson clearly enjoyed the femo-nationalist reasoning. The fact that slender fingers with painted nails press the trigger that sends many of the terrorists to hell surely creates a special sense of humiliation for those who preach male supremacy. Israel's success, the blessing for which it constantly gets cursed by its enemies, is its ongoing pursuit of gender equality. In a weird way, I don't want like people to, I don't want the Reddit atheists to be like anti-Semitic in the same way that they're Islamophobic. But it is rather odd how Reddit atheists never have that same smoke for Christianity, or even if they do have that same smoke for Christianity, they rarely ever factor in like fundamentalists within Judaism. They just never think about it. They never talk about it. Not to say that I want them to be like just as bigoted as they are to Muslims. I want them to be less bigoted towards Muslims and understand that religion is not, you know, monolithic, and that people don't have shared opinions like the way that people think they do. You're describing Sam Harris? Oh no, that's the thing that I've said about Sam Harris for quite a while. Same with Bill Maher. Same with same with Richard Dawkins. Same with most r/atheism dipshits. If you notice, they will have a little bit of smoke for Christianity, never to the same degree of Islam, and they rarely ever talk about Judaism. Like never, if at all. That's precisely the reason why Sam Harris, Bill Maher, and many other famous atheists will literally talk about Israel as a beacon of prosperity, even though it is literally a Jewish ethno-state. Okay? Like codified Jewish ethno-state. Okay? They never consider it in a similar vein to like a Saudi Arabia, which they regularly will, call a Muslim theocracy, which it is. The only guy I can think of is Hitchens. But even then, he was still, extra smoky for Islam. Hitchens was definitely way, way more dog shit. I mean, he was also super dog shit. He was super critical of Israel, but he also, I believe, promoted or pushed for the Iraq War, didn't he? Don't they deserve an ethno-state after what happened in the Holocaust? No. What? What are you, crazy? Bro said, don't they get to have a little bit of a genocide of their own? Come on, man. The Holocaust happened. They get to do one genocide. It's like my kill yourself token, you know? If people online tell you to kill yourself, you get to then, you know, capture that and then use it. You can use it on someone else. And it's like crazy because the it's not even like a resistant one. You know what I mean? It's not even like you know, violent actions in a liberatory manner that maybe gets a little out of hand or anything. You're just doing a genocide to a whole other group of people that had nothing to do with the Holocaust. It's just as a treat. Probably because Islam is the fastest growing religion of Muslims comparatively to other religion followers have a firmer foundation in terms of changing their society. Firmer foundation in terms of changing their society. What do you mean? Islam or the Islamic world throughout history has changed dramatically. I mean, Islam had its golden age already, unfortunately. So in comparison to the glorious West, there was a point in time throughout history where the Islamic world was making the real scientific advancements. It's just that the current state of the Muslim world, unfortunately, is not so advanced in comparison to being victimized by Western forces in perpetuity. Yeah, they were making math while the Christians were getting wiped because they couldn't figure out how to wipe their asses. I found out that the original embassy row in the Ottoman Empire in Istanbul was like super far away from any major areas, specifically because the Westerners did not know how to use the toilets. Like they didn't have, so they would just like dump their feces in the street. So they were just like, yeah, we'll just put them somewhere over there. It's kind of funny to think about, like Westerners literally did not shower as much as both. It's true. Europeans did not shower as much as neither the Japanese nor the Chinese nor any of the Eastern areas, Eastern regions. I would say still to this day, the fact that there's no bidets in Europe across the board is yet another indication of this reality. What do you want me to do? Catch the bloody flocks? Exactly. These Japans, these savage barbarians in the Japans.